Welcome to Tarot by Brev. What we're going to do today is we're going to unbox this amazing new set of tarot that I have, the Good Tarot by Colette Baron-Reid. Nice sturdy box, which is always a good impression. What I'm going to do is unpack it. I'm going to have a flip through the cards and an initial kind of bit of feedback around what I find. So this is a classical tarot which gets a modern twist in this gorgeous deck. Rooted in positive psychology and personal transformation, the suits are the four elements: air, water, earth and fire. The 78 cards are read as archetypal aspects of the human experience that we may encounter in ourselves or in the world. So, sounds good. As I said, nice sturdy box, which is always a good sign. Looks pretty crisp. Nice graphics on the front. Very clear instructions. Well packed, well wrapped. Let's get into it and see what we see. It's ready to work on my manual dexterity. Come on, there we go. So let's get the cellophane off. And we'll take a look inside. So, by Hay House, Colette Baron-Reid, The Good Tarot. Here we go. So the box opens up, and the first thing we have in the top is the guidebook, which is a good size, pretty thick, well printed. It's black and white. So Colette Baron-Reid is an internationally acclaimed intuition expert, best-selling author and oracle expert, whose works have been published in 27 languages. Which is great. Let's have a little scroll through here and have a look. So the Magician, one of my favourite cards. So what does it say about the Magician? So you can see that there. So when I am in alignment with Spirit's will, miracles are possible. When I see this card, I'm reminded that my will and skill alone will yield limited results. When I remember my partnership with Spirit, all is well. I'm required to explore my commitment to this co-creative alchemical relationship and see the results manifest beautifully. Through me, Spirit works magic. I like that. It's nice. So the start of the guide book, it's pretty clear, pretty concise, well put together. Welcome to my new Oracle card deck, the Good Tarot. So this is, say, one of the decks where the traditional cards have been switched out to go for the elemental aspects. And I'm sure that she's explained everything in here as to why that is. And in terms of, if you're new to tarot, if you're looking for a deck that's going to be quite easy to read, and a beginner's deck, it's always nice to have a book with some background and some information to get into it with some clear direction, and that seems to be what it has. So pages represent new beginnings and being ready for something, such as change in conditions or energy influencing conditions. So the court cards, we've got pages, messengers, queens and kings in this deck by the looks of things. So here we go, this is where she explains. They're divided into the four suits presented by the four elements. So air, which is, she says, traditionally represented by swords; water instead of cups; earth instead of pentacles; and fire instead of wands. So, shall we get into the cards? This is nice. So far I'm encouraged. I'm liking the quality and the feel of all of this and the information that goes with it. Now, as you can see in the box, there's this nice little ribbon on there to keep them safe. And there's no more cellophane packaging, which is good. And we start where most decks begin, with the Fool. Card number 0. Let's pop them out. So they feel like a good sized set of cards. Let's get these unpacked in. We'll have a look at the back in, and then we'll have a look at the card stock. So nice green backing. fairly plain, but that's okay. It's not too bad. They're a good size, the cards. Bigger than normal playing size. See, again, it's kind of my hand. I've probably got a normal size playing card here somewhere. Just as a comparison, here we go. Here's a normal sized playing card. There you go. So it's probably double a normal sized playing card, which is a great size for reading. So let's have a little flip through before I shuffle them. They feel quite nice and weighty in the hands. So the actual card stock itself, they've got this kind of a bit of a glossy finish to them. These quite smooth and shiny, nice rounded edges. And I like the way the imaging, instantly I like the way the imaging goes all the way to the edge. There's no borders. Good visuals on that. And the cardstock itself, it's not overly thick, but it feels pretty robust. I should imagine that'd be quite nice for shuffling and dealing. So we've got, let's go through the cards and give you an idea of what each one is. We'll have a quick flip through, then I'll give them a shuffle and we'll see what happens. So we start with the Fool. Now it's always nice, I think, whenever you're buying a new deck, that it's good to know how it resonates and how it feels. And sometimes when they, in the descriptions, when you're buying them on an online shop, they'll give you an idea of what the cards are about, and they may have pictures of a few of them. But I think these flip throughs are really useful to get an understanding of what all the cards look like, and if they're the sort of thing that's going to resonate with you. So the Magician card number 1, kind of a classical imagery there of a wise man looking down. Got some glasses on, giving a good look. There's some bit of symbolism around the outside here. Then we move on to the High Priestess and the Empress. So a little bit sticky together, the cards to start with. That's okay, they've been wrapped up and packed. I'm sure that'll go. The Emperor, represented by a lion here, holding his sword. The Hierophant, female version. Spiritual resonance on this card. Lots of detail here for the new reader to get involved in. Then we have a Love card. Okay. Maybe a switch out from the more traditional decks. The Chariot. So I'm liking the kind of the muted tones on this, the golds and the browns. It's very autumnal in feel. Now, autumn is my favourite season, which is probably why I kind of gravitated towards these cards in the first place. So then we move on to Strength. The Taming of the Beast. The woman with the lion. Again, nice autumnal kind of feel to these cards. The greens and the browns, that palette, that kind of golden rust type palette. So the Hermit, a bit of different with some keys, a bit of arcane symbolism, and a closed door. It's interesting. I wonder what it says about that in the guidebook. Maybe we'll have a look for that one in a minute. Fortune's Wheel. There we go. You can see that card. Now they've got quite a glossy finish on these cards. I don't know how the light's kind of shining or catching. If you're intending to read online, so you'll be, taking photos of these cards to do your readings, it's sometimes useful to know how glossy they are, and you can maybe see a bit of that shine reflected. Justice. The Hanged Man. Kind of almost like an Icarus feel to that, with the wings. Transformation. Okay, again, another step away from maybe more of a traditional card. And again, Patience, card number 14. Temptation. So it looks like there are a few kind of twists on what would be the classic tarot cards. Towers. Again, some really nice imagery, some great artwork. It's got a bit of a cooler feel to it. Different palette on that one. Come to the Star card. And again, some of these are a little bit sticky to start with, and hopefully that's just because, can you hear that? Just want to, yeah, maybe I need to give them a bit of a flip through first. Star card, very nice. The Moon, one of my favourite cards. So I'll pause on that one for a second. That's quite a nice imagery. Kind of getting some good vibes from that. And the Sun. And again, the Call. The Judgment card. Then we have the World. There's the final card of the majors. There we go. So let's just set them to one side for a second. Now, this is where things change a little bit. So these are the minor arcana, and we start with the page. Front of the cards. So they're starting with the court cards by the looks of it. So we've got the Page of Air, which would be swords normally. The Messenger, or the Knight of Air. The Queen, I'm liking the owl here. And these are this sort of cooler colour palette, more autumnal maybe. No, more winter, sorry, than autumnal. And the King of Air, and again, maybe this sort of the bird theme picking up for the suit of air, this attachment to the elements. And then we go to the beginning, so the Ace, where all things start. With a nice Pegasus there. The 2. The 3. And again, there's some symbolism here with the birds, so you can kind of tell the pips just by looking at the birds. I'm assuming 4 feathers, maybe. Okay. 5. We're back to birds and a nice kind of ballerining bit of balance there, poise, motion. All sorts of things that can tweak your intuition as you're looking at the cards. The 6, getting back to the pips of the birds. And it's very kind of cool feel to these cards. A bit different from the major arcana in terms of the palette, but I like that. So they've got the 7, got some ducks, got a range of birds on there. The 8, feathers falling. Angel maybe looking down. The 9. And finally the 10. There's blowing the feathers up in the air there. So that's the air cards, or what would be the swords. Then we move on to fire, or which would be the wands traditionally. So we've got the Page of Fire. And again, notice the shift in palette. We've gone from very cool shades to this. Again, maybe a bit more kind of summery these. We'll see as we go through. There's quite a bit going on here for you to kind of get your mind into in order to build a reading and build a feeling about these cards. So we've got the kind of tiger, the moon, some sort of very classic subconscious, unconscious symbolism going on here, which we like. So you've got the Page, the Messenger, or the Knight, followed by the Queen. Message in her candles, got some kind of classic stuff going on here, which we like. And then the King. The King of Fire. Carrying the heart again. A little bit sticky, some of these cards. We'll see what they like to shuffle in a minute. Then if we go through the fire cards, starting at the Ace. This little kind of imp type, or sprite maybe. Kind of symbolism on there, and the lantern to begin. 2, a giraffe. We've got 2 lanterns on there, so maybe 1 lantern on there, 2 lanterns on there. And then we've got candles, 3. It's kind of woodland spirit maybe. More sprites, 4 lanterns. A little bit of symbolism, mythology based in there, 5. 6. Again, a little bit sticky. An airship, and we've got the kind of lanterns around as airships, lanterns. Unicorn, 7. Little fireflies. 8, panda. being ridden, and then we've got the Chinese lanterns kind of ideal around there with a nod in the background, I think, to the traditional wands and rods. 9, again, this kind of woodland eldritch elf type figure, kind of carries on the theme that we've had throughout this set. Finally, the 10, kind of almost like a bit of mystical here, and it's be interesting to read as a card. There's lots of symbolism there involved in the various stages of this plan or whatever is burning. And then we come to the water cards, or what would be traditionally the cups. So here we have the page. Again, some nice symbolism. Looks like a bit of a mer girl, I suppose. The messenger or knight. Very intricate crown. Some amazing artwork on this. It's beautiful looking cards. The queen and the king. And we've got very kind of oceanic kind of tones and colours. This kind of these greens and these blues working very well together. And then we have the ace. Now we've done the court cards. The ace and holding the... That's a nice looking card. Two goldfish. There we go. Lots of people are going to enjoy looking at some goldfish while they're trying to make a big decision. Then we have 3. And again, these pearls. Is that what they are? Pearls. Maybe that's what he's holding in that card. There's going to be the pips. Yeah, there we go. 2 pearls, 3 pearls. I like that. 4. Again, this kind of mermaid type figure in the background holding on to 4 pearls. 5 pearls here. The theme continues. Cards looking like they're very well organised, very put together. There's a lot of thought obviously gone into these and the construction. Moving on to the 6. Again, the palette continues, colours continue. 7, 8. A bit more of a nod to the more classical card there. Looking into the distance, about 9. And finally the 10, and we have a happy Buddha at the end there. And then the palette changes again for these the final suit. And we have the page of Earth. With the messenger or knight. Queen of Earth. And again, the colour palette's changed here. Obviously, we've got these sort of browns and golds and stuff back again. This kind of more autumn colours, maybe. Really nice. It's a lot to be taken from that card. It's one of those ones that the more you look at it, the more little details you see. Just the interplay of light here, maybe the hint of some insects, a bit of symbolism. King. And the ace. And we've got a very proud looking stag here. And maybe we've got this kind of bit of symbolism here. We're talking about material things, discs, coins. The 3. And the 4. There's the 5. 6 again, continuing the stag theme. 7. 8 with that. Bringing a bit of musical instruments into that. Oh, that's an interesting looking card. The 9. And finally the 10. the wolf and the chest, completion as things are. So hopefully now that I've flipped through them, they will kind of sit apart a little bit better. Let's see what they are like to shuffle. And there's already a little bit of a... Let's have a look. No, that's okay. So, okay, like I said, they're pretty comfortable in the hand. They're got a larger card size now. I generally don't like to bend the... Oh, we've got a jumper. There we go. What's that one? The page of air, the page of swords. So I don't do the old that kind of shuffle. I don't really like doing that because I don't like bending my cards. My cards generally last me quite a long time, so I would shuffle like this. And fair, you know, do they want to slide in? Maybe that's because they're a bit new. But in terms of shuffling, no, you know, not too bad. They're quite large. I should imagine if you've got quite small, dainty hands, that could be a bit difficult. You might have to find a slightly different way to shuffle. To spread, they flow kind of fairly easily. Yeah, because they've got these kind of shiny backs. They kind of spread pretty well, so you could, you know, however you choose to draw cards, maybe that's one of the ways that you do it. You can bring stuff over, and you can see here the contrast between the palettes. So they give a feel. The cards really do generate a kind of a feeling around the subject. It's not just about the pictures, it's about the whole palette, the way everything's constructed, and I like that. That's good. So those are The Good Tarot by Colette Baron-Reid. Let's say, other than the cards being a little bit sticky, which I think will probably ease off with use. I mean, bear in mind these are fresh out of the box, and sometimes cards needs a little bit of a breaking in. Yeah, already getting a little bit smoother. So first impression is pretty good. Liking the artwork, liking the themes and the consistencies. It looks like it's well put together. There's plenty to intuit. There's plenty to kind of look at and get your mind into. Although there are some slight differences from what the kind of standard classic tarot is. Obviously, we've changed the suits, and then some of the major arcana are slightly different from the standard, but that's okay. And as I said, really good looking, thorough book. It's not one of those little kind of, you know, 8-fold pieces of paper with some just little bits put on them. This is actually fairly in depth, and I'm going to enjoy and look forward to reading through this and picking up some kind of new meanings and some new understanding. So, 9 out of 10. Pretty impressive. Thanks for watching. I'll pop some links in the bio. If you're interested in buying these cards, they're absolutely nothing to do with me, so I don't gain anything from you buying them or not buying them. Please like, if you've enjoyed this video, like, subscribe. I'll do some more unboxing at some point, as and when I indulge my passion for buying new cards, and look out for other stuff in the future. Thanks for watching.